evening. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to certainly what feels like winter proper now, because it's probably about 7 or 8 degrees. With wind chill earlier on the day, it probably felt about 2 or 3 this morning, but thankfully the wind's back right off, and it's one of those like classic beautiful winter evenings where there's not a breath of wind. It's really cold but crisp, and you can probably hear behind as well. You might be able to hear, I'm not sure. There's a massive northerly rolling in, but it's like a proper really long groundswell type northerly. Came down to have a look earlier on today, and it was huge. Definitely the biggest I've seen it this winter so far. So we are down on the beach. It is 8:45. We've got exactly 2 hours till low water, and it's quite a reasonable size ebb. It's about a 1.06 on the tine bar, so should be plenty of movement, particularly with that sea running. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to pull out a fish or two. Rig wise, I'm using the same rig that you might have seen us use a couple of videos ago. It's just a very simple 1 up, 1 down, 2 hook flapper, size 3/0s, Sakuma mantas, and for this first cast I'm just going straight lug on both. Probably this particular shot isn't a long range shot, although because it's quite a big tide and there's a lot of swell coming in, I've still got a little bit of distance that I need to cover, so I'm going to probably put it a wee bit further than what I will be in, say, like an hour's time or whatever, but generally speaking, not a distance venue, which is good because I've hurt me back again. So the less effort I've got to put into casting, the better. Right, I'm going to get this rig baited up, get it out there, see what's what. Right, first cast, got to be a little bit careful here because the tide is dropping, but still the odd fairly decent sized wave coming in, so, and the water's absolutely black, so I've just got to have my wits about it a little bit. Trying not to let me braid get caught in all that wash. Got a 7-ounce sinker on there, so I'm hoping I can hold bottom okay with it. There's a lot of undertows. Oh, I'm hoping I haven't. Well, first cast, disaster. Big lump of weed, got me line, started tearing us to the left. Bang, snapped off. So very, very frustrating, but that is part and parcel of beach fishing when there's a massive sea running. You just gotta grin and bear it and keep your patience and just keep moving around. I'm gonna have one more cast because this area, it can't all of a sudden the weed can just disappear. It's the same with quite a few of these marks, so I'm going to try and hold my patience. So get this leader tied on, get another rig baited up, and hopefully take 2 will be a little bit smoother, because that was not the start that I was looking for. Right, well, this is definitely going to be a night of patience, because second cast I did at least get my gear back, but there's a lot of weed out there. Right, so this cast, I've whacked a bit of cart and lug on the bottom hook. And all I'm doing, because there's still a bit of lug on that, just going 1, 2. There's really no finesse to this at all. You're just lashing your bait out, plonking it in and hoping a fish finds it before the weed does. I don't know about you, but people always say to me, "Oh, you must be really patient." I'm like, no. I see anglers or fishermen in general are probably some of the most impatient people I know, but I don't know, maybe that's what makes a good fisherman. You just got to be impatient and then keen to keep moving around. Anyway, right, so this is the rig. Fairly long hook lengths, 2.5 foot-ish, 7-ounce sinker. Whoops, that'll just sit on the bottom like that. And it just means if a crab or a lobster or something does grab your bait, you've still got another hook fishing. And of course, more hopefully, if it's absolutely teeming with fish out there, you got a chance of a double shot. And I always, even though it's not that rough out there, I always just fish with a rotten bottom, because the last thing you want is to hit a decent fish and miss it because your sinker snagged. Right. Well, I've just had me first bite finally. It's just a load of slack, a load of kind of dropbacks, but come on, let's get that first fish on the board. It's been hard work so far, but I'm just hopeful that something might happen all of a sudden. No, nothing there. I'll give it a couple of minutes and then have a look at the bait. Right, well, this is Last Cast Saloon. I've changed spots, probably bang on low water. Tide's gonna start turning. That other spot up there looked very, very promising, but there's just nothing there. The weed backed right off, looked good. So, coming to an old favourite mark. Haven't fished this in quite a while actually, so here goes nothing. Let's just see. Got a quick cup of coffee because it's getting cold now. The wind's picked up a bit, so the wind chill's pretty nasty, but leave that out there for 10-15, and then if I don't get a touch, I'll probably take myself to bed because I've got work in the morning. But I think I'm getting a bite. Don't believe it, I think I'm getting a bite. Should probably pick me rod up, shouldn't I? Definitely an inquiry there. Oh, yeah. Oh, felt like a coley that, but come on. Definitely felt like a coley rattle that. But to be honest, right now, I'll take anything. Come on. Now, I'll put that back. I've got two. Oh, Jesus. Stand slip there. I thought that was a huge bite. Oh no, it was. God, it was a huge bite. Yep, got him. Oh, this doesn't feel like a bad fish, this. God, I thought my stand had slipped. I must have just got a bite just as the, just as I put it down. This isn't bad at all, this. It's kicking around like hell. Oh. Get in. Well, what do you know? Very first cast, change your mark. whoa, and bang, whoa. He is a lively fish, right? Just managed to get, and I'm just going to quickly measure this fella. Oh, he's well off the scale, he's probably about 50. A lovely, that's my best cod of the season so far. About 50 centimetres. Put my rod down and bang. Straight in, shallow water, gives a Kraken's fight. Get in, right. He might go back actually. He was deep hooked, but I'm not seeing any blood out of him. Right, need to get another bait in. And hopefully get another one. Right, well, tell you what, that has made me night, because as I was walking onto this mark, two lads were actually walking off, and I just thought, right, great. Totally wasting my time, but sometimes just goes to show you just gotta follow your nose a little bit and see what happens. Right, you're not going to believe what just happened there. Within seconds of that fish, just got a bite that pulled the rod out the stand. Yep, got another one. It's another decent one as well. Oh, it's fighting. It is absolutely scrapping. Right, come on, come on. I'm just bringing it in on that wave there. Exactly the same bait. It is going berserk. And it's another good one. In fact, truth be told, it's actually better than the first one. God, good quality fish these, mind. Look at that. Prize. Northeast. Whoop. Come on, come on. Prize. Northeast winter codling. Probably another one about easy £4, something like that. Tell you what, these fish are lively. Right, I'm going to get him in a rock pool next to his pal, get another bait quickly out because it's turned on here. That is the third bait. It's gone, well, that bait has gone out 3 times now. I've just seen another couple of good bites. Tide's starting to come in quite quickly, so I wish I'd walked over here an hour earlier, but mind, there's 2-3 lads walked off as I walked on, so it might have literally just switched on. I don't know, but I've had my 2 best fish of the season in 2 casts, so I'm certainly not complaining. The other one's bigger than the first. It's probably about, it'll not be far off, it'll certainly go 4.5. The other one's probably about 4. Got them in a rock pool there. The second one's dead lively. The first one that was deep hooked, even though it wasn't bleeding, I think it's toast, but I'll certainly be putting the bigger one back. There we are. 2 lovely northeast codling. Just getting another really good bite here. Of course, turn the camera on, it disappears, but that was another proper lunging bite. Yeah, still having a go there. We've got number 3. Yep, I think we'll have. It feels like another good fish. All a good stamp as well. This big northerly's obviously brought some good ones in. There's always the slightly nervy bit when they're thrashing around like hell in that surf. Try and keep them moving, but also not pull the hooks out their mouths. Just see a rock out there, I just need to bump him over, bring him in on that wave. Right, here he comes. Keep moving, son. Perfect. And he's another good fish. So yet again, cast 3 fish. Third cast, 3rd fish, another very, very lively winter codling. Probably about 3.5, 3.25. scrapping like hell. Third time that same bait's been out. Purely just because I haven't got time. This tide's pushing in and I don't want to miss anything, so let's get them unhooked, get them in the rock pool, get another one. Right, cast number 4. I'm going to be very, very quick here because tide is really beginning to push, and I think, to be honest, that's what's fired the fish up. But it also, of course, means that it's becoming quite nervy because it's very flat, this mark, so as soon as it starts coming in, you're just racing back. Just whacked a load of lug onto that one there. I think I might get another 2 casts on here, time 1, 11:30. I've got work in the morning as well, but are you bothered that you might be a bit tired? Fishing's as good as this. I'm not. Just goes to show, doesn't it? Fishing over there for probably 2 hours, absolutely devoid of life. You just come to a different mark. I'm literally probably, I don't know, 150 yards, and bang, there's just good quality fish. And I'm not going to lie, as I said earlier on, I just couldn't quite be bothered, but you just got to sometimes. You just got to have that energy to just keep moving. Right, just to give you some perspective, because I know in the last video when we had a few fish, there's a few comments about the size, and I know that the fish don't always look the size that they actually are on the camera. So there's a standard better box, and you can see they're all good stamp. He's still alive and kicking, so I'm going to get him back. He might go back, and unfortunately he's gone, but lovely quality fish. That's what you come fishing for, isn't it? Well, that's the end of the session. It's been a session of 2 halves. Definitely the first half was very, very, very tricky. Spent 2 hours battling the tide, the weed, not getting anything. Nearly went home, but decided to just come to one other mark that I have fished before. First time this year. I know it does fish on these sort of conditions. 3 casts, 3 quality fish, all with the same bait, I might add. So yeah, I'm over the moon. I can go home with a smile on my face. I think I'm just getting another bite there now, but it's been really good. The tide is starting to race in, so I'm gonna have to get off here. But as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do like the videos, do give it a thumbs up. Do hit the subscribe button. It does help. Costs you nothing. You don't necessarily have to have an account, so that would be appreciated. But as always, thanks for your support. Tight lines, keep fishing. We'll see you on the next one. Right, there's 3 fish, and we're just getting another inquiry here. Yeah, it's definitely something. Having a look. God, I'm saying that. It's another good fish, this. This is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It's another good quality fish, this. Well, saying it was a good quality fish, the bigger of the 2, still a decent fish. But the reason there's a bit of weight is because there is indeed 2 fish. That is why you use a 2-hook rig. That bottom fish still isn't a bad one. Let's get him unhooked. There he is there. So that's 5 fish now. He's another good one. Be at least 3. Right. This is gonna have to be my last cast. I just can't bring myself to leave. How can you? I might have to soon because of that tide, but So that's 5 fish all of a sudden out of nowhere. 4 of them very good stamp, 1 smaller one. Right, so it's going to have to be the last one. This fish here, I'm hoping you can see that. That looks to me a very small wrasse. That that actually looks like a baby ling, and that looks like maybe a small sort of squat lobster. So that was, well, joint 4th fish, but as you can see, he's looking a bit scabby, him, but fortunately he's still alive and kicking, so he can go back. But another good sized fish. Well, just did the outrow before. I think I might have said 3 fish, actually made that 5. Just pulled out a double shot there, small one undersized, and then another one probably about £3. Quite a mucky fish actually. So it was still alive and kicking, so it's gone back. But what a great session. Till next time, tight lines, take care. Well, did I say 5 fish? Sorry, I meant 6. Because we've just had possibly the best of the night in this fella here. Whoops. Another extremely lively. He's got to be at least 4.5, something like that. Belting fish, nearly pulled the rod out my hand. It's just alive out there at the minute. It's absolutely alive. I think he's just hooked in the roof of the mouth actually, so it might be all right, but hopefully you can see that. Belting, proper lovely chunky fish. Get in. Right, we'll see if we can get him back.